Am I the asshole here for telling my wife she makes traveling no fun? So my wife, 38 female, and I, 36 male, have been together for 8 years. We live in my home state of Arkansas. She's from San Diego. Every year she wants to visit home. We used to fly, but we have a kid who is 2 female, and she now wants to drive. I have no problem using all of my vacation days for this. She lives here. Traveling is a pain because she overpacks. I used to fill my CX-7 full, but work gave me a $900 car allowance, and we used that to get a full-size Suburban. This time, she loaded that full. I mean front passenger to the ceiling so I can't see the mirrors full. We didn't use hardly any of it. Every stop I carried everything into the hotel because she was afraid it would get stolen. It's 3 days each way. Got through it, told her that she makes traveling miserable because she is also super late. I tell her 10 a.m., she might arrive by noon. So every day we don't leave the hotel until 12. She then insists that we drive until midnight. Ugh, unfun. Anyway, this weekend I was sent on a work conference. They got me a sweet hotel room, a week at a nice resort. Super excited. We were going to go and leave the baby. The day before, she cancels my mum watching to bring our child. Fills the Suburban full again. Mind you, it's my work trip. 5 days, 5 nights. Most of the stuff was just overpacking. She brought a tote of blankets, 1 of towels, 2 of her clothes. Totes. I told her she makes it miserable. The hotel always gets cluttered and full. The night before we leave is always a mess trying to pack, and her organizing stuff that she brought that never gets used. She freaked out. Told me I just want to go hook up and cheat at these things. I invited her, and she is filing for a divorce because I told her, "You're overpacking and insisting we fill every vehicle full and always being late makes me miserable." We were 3 hours late leaving to get to the conference, so I missed the networking opening night, which is where, in my industry, people tend to click up afterwards to a degree. I missed going to the best vendor events, etc., because she insisted that I don't leave because she was overwhelmed with how messy the hotel room was. Mind you, it was all the stuff that she brought, took out of totes, and never used, and the toddler then destroyed. Am I the asshole here? In the comments, NoFix says, not the asshole. Personally, I think your wife is crazy pants for wanting to drive 20 plus hours both ways between San Diego and Arkansas with a 2-year-old instead of flying. I've made that trip twice without kids, and it was torture. I feel like she's making it harder for y'all to travel, not easier. The bottom line is that she went with you on a work trip, made you late, accused you of wanting to cheat, and threatened to divorce you. None of those things are okay, OP. I love long drives and making that trip alone, or with my girlfriend or a trusty dog. Sounds like a perfect vacation for me, but doing it with a 2-year-old? Please just kill me now. Does she always threaten divorce so casually? Next time tell her, sure, I'll call the lawyer tomorrow and start that up, and see her face dropping at calling her stupid bluff. She sounds really annoying to travel with. Is she also a hoarder? Because, she's definitely got some kind of anxiety issue going on. Lots of warning signs in OP's post. She needs some mental health assistance for sure. This, insisting on going with the baby, overpacking, and then not letting him leave the room basically, to a work function, and then threatening divorce over the situation is not right. As someone who grew up with an OCD mum, this is all so familiar. For what it's worth, I have a really weird relationship with my mum because her OCD focused a lot on protecting me. I moved out at 18. OP should definitely get her help. Back up to the post, there's some edits. 1. Yes, I am involved in raising our child. I actually packed for our trip. I had 1 bag for baby to go to mum's, toys, diapers, food, etc., a big bag, but 1 large suitcase, and I had a bag packed for my wife and 1 for me. 2. Yes, she has ADHD. 3. She always says she doesn't want to do this, and then the trip comes and she does it. 4. I am not a cheater. She accused me of it last time I went solo. I am exhausted. If she left me, I think I'd be done with relationships. My own mental health is wrecked. 5. My boss wasn't mad. He found the whole thing hilarious when I told him. He skipped half of the conference himself. My job wasn't threatened, but to me it was. 6. I tried the whole packing thing for her and me. I've tried to just accept her issues, but it's gotten worse. When we first got together, she needed a large checked bag for a 2-day trip to Las Vegas. Now she needs an entire Suburban for a week trip. 7. One of the issues is the vehicle is so full. If it was just the back, I might be able to deal, but it's so full, I can't even see the side mirror. I've expressed how unsafe that is, and she doesn't care, she just yells that I don't understand. 8. Yes, she comes from a hoarder background. Those that watch the podcast, Certified Arseholes, that I do with Jack, you'll know that we already covered this one and talked about it extensively, but now it has an update, so of course, I'm gonna retread old ground. And one of the issues that I focused on heavily there was they pointed out how dangerous it was to pack the car so full you can't see out the side mirrors, let alone the rear window. I think OP's wife is out of her damn mind. He has been enabling her behavior because he doesn't want to rock the boats and he thinks that it'll get better over time, but doesn't recognize that the OCD hoarding mentality that she has will only get worse the longer it's allowed to fester. And her worries and anxieties have gotten so hard to the point where he tries to put any boundaries up with her at all to be like, no, we came on a work trip. I need to get to my work conference. You are going to get me fired. She's like, you're cheating on me, aren't you? That's why you hate me and you don't want to leave the hotel room without helping me out with my mess. It's because you're cheating. Oh, okay. Like, my brother, I understand you are deeply enmeshed in this situation. You are married to this woman, you have a child with this woman, but she is far beyond saving. She does not want to get help. She doesn't recognize how bad things are for herself. She refuses to acknowledge how bad she is making everything for you. You are not the problem here. But I genuinely believe in my heart of hearts, this relationship cannot continue. And like, as I was saying, with the Suburban being so full, and making you drive the entire 20 hours, and all of the stress that she's putting on you, you are lucky that you didn't crash and kill everyone in that car. She's already destroyed your mental health. She put everyone's lives in danger so many different times, and now she's accusing you of cheating. Bro, for your own sake, leave her. Your child is already on the back foot with having a mother like that is going to destroy that child's mental health as well. So good luck with that, and do whatever you can to salvage the situation with your child so that they are not completely mentally messed up. And now, on to the update. About a month ago, I told my wife that she makes traveling no fun. I posted before we left for our drive home, and since then, it's been a whirlwind. We got home. I wanted to talk, but she said we were fine. I called a counselor and got us more couples therapy and set her up with one who specializes in trauma that causes hoarding. She did not call a lawyer. She threatened again, so I dialed one on her phone and put it on speaker and walked away. Not my best moment. However, since then we have attended 4 sessions together and she has gone to 5 apart. I spent all of my savings to hire some people to come in and help her clean for a week. We threw away 2 40-yard dumpsters fairly full of stuff. The cleaner put her car, the one that she puts my daughter in daily, out, and established a routine of only her purse and diaper bag go up front. The rest is trunk only. I've had to go through it daily and remove stuff. I once let it go for 4 days, and it was full again. We're going to see her family in December. I made it very clear if the vehicle is loaded full, I'm going to the airport and flying with our daughter, and she can make the trip herself. We made the packing lists already. The boot of the Suburban can be full, but nothing above the boot cover, and nothing besides a small cooler and purse and diaper bag up front. I bought refundable tickets for my daughter and I to fly to and from San Diego if she fills the vehicle and throws a fit. Now, how is our quality of life? She seems happy. Her family says she is happier than ever. She has always wanted a clean house and car, but fights me when I clean up, even now, as she was about to do it. I am miserable. I'm constantly picking up the car, the yard, the house. I let it go 2 days once and got screamed at for sabotaging her. I talked to a lawyer myself. Not to move forward, but to protect myself. My boss actually has me in line for a promotion, which is great. Only problem is, if our marriage ends and she moves back to California, then I would be stuck in a 2-year deal at work. So I'm currently very nervous about career advancements when I am miserable personally. Edit, I forgot to add the cheating part. She confessed she was nervous I would cheat because I'm not the ugliest guy around and you work hard. So if you hate me, then you would have options. Jesus, mental illness Batman, what is that? I have no idea if she's cheating, and I'm kind of at a point where I don't care. I'm 100% checked out. As a follow-up from last episode, guys, she's not going to admit to it, but it's probably projection on her part. We all know the classic, husband's trying to open up the marriage, and it's much easier for the wife to get play than the husband. He obviously doesn't want to cheat. It would be much easier for her to cheat. I reckon she's projecting. In the comments, this doesn't sound like she's doing any work to help improve things, but you've somehow been convinced to do more, which is not sustainable. Have either of you addressed her verbally abusing you in therapy? Document everything. And I mean it. Even if you aren't sure, start documenting. Put cameras up, get recordings, photos, timestamp things. She 100% will not be safe with a baby alone. Plus, she cannot leave to California without a judge or anyone once filed. Protect yourself. This is the answer. As miserable as it is, OP should take that promotion with the 2-year contract and spend that 2-year period documenting everything on every level. Wait a few days before cleaning to have evidence of how bad she lets it get. Definitely use cameras, and then after 2 years of advancing at work and gathering evidence, divorce and go for full custody. It's sad, but hoarders almost never get better. And it's not sustainable for him to clean up her mess together. Even the 2 years is going to be hard as shit. You are burning yourself up to keep her warm. Eventually, if this stays the same, your child will be doing that as well. That kid's going to grow up learning that the only person whose happiness matters is mummy's, that she must be appeased at all times. Don't rock the boat, keep the peace, and for the family are phrases she's going to hear her entire life. When she has her own partner, she's going to put her mother over the partner. How many stories do we see from frustrated partners whose mother-in-laws interfere and their partners don't defend them or stand up to their toxic mother? One day her partner's going to be posting, asking if they're insane because mother-in-law's being a bitch, everyone is kowtowing to her, and no one's standing up. It's sad. Poor kid's in for a lifetime of putting herself last to appease a woman who will not be grateful for any of it, enabled by her father who refuses to acknowledge how serious it all is. This is terrible, and I'm not sure why you're putting up with it. You picking up after her every day is not making her better. It's enabling her. Are you okay with your daughter living like this? What about her learning that it's okay to keep a house or car messy so long as she finds a man to clean up after her? You are doing no one in that house any favors. Why are you even giving her the option to drive to California? I would tell her that you can't do it anymore and just fly. Period. End of story. You are treating her like a child who doesn't know how to clean up after themselves, not a wife. When it comes to the job promotion, would it pay enough for you to hire a nanny if you divorce? Does your wife work, and could she support a child if she tries to get full custody? Your boss sounds great, and he may be willing to work with you if you do divorce and you need a little flexibility. Her family saying that she's happy means nothing. They aren't dealing with her daily, and they don't see how bad it is. If they give you a hard time, send them pictures of what you have to deal with each day. OP replies, I don't know why I am giving the option of driving. She wants to, and I don't have the will to fight anymore. The only reason I'm doing anything is because my kid deserves better, and she deserves a mother that loves her, and my wife does. I see the care and love for her. She works full-time as a teacher this year, so in theory, yes. The way she spends money, no, but the financials say yes. My boss thinks the whole thing is hilarious. I had a near breakdown in my office one day. He heard about it from coworkers who were worried, and he took me to lunch and beers, but he was crystal clear. If I sign the promotion contract, I am his for 2 years. Her family's great, in small doses. They are the ones that will tell you they love you as you drown. Mine are the ones who will tell you to go fuck yourself as they drive 1,500 miles to help you move. Back up to the post, edit 2. So many responses. So why haven't I cut the cord? Well, because she's my wife, and we said for better or worse. How can I walk away from her when she's not doing okay without giving it the good old college try? Plus, I was raised as divorce is not an option. I gave myself until Christmas 2026. If it's not better then I'm pulling the plug. Oh my god, OP, don't say that. I'm picking up every day because counseling said that it would help, and also, as people rightfully pointed out last time, my daughter doesn't deserve this. I want a clean home, so I do it myself. Is it defeating to come home every day and the kitchen table is covered with random stuff that she got out because she was going to bake, but never did, and the bed is covered with totes of clothes that she was going to sort? Sure. Do I want to go through the guest room every 3 days because she destroys it? Not figuratively, but gets stuff out in it or brings things into it, and I want it to be guest ready at all times? No, I don't. But it's the price that I pay. If I don't do it, our house is shit, and our kid doesn't deserve it. If I leave, I'm hurting someone with mental illness. All I'm doing right now is destroying someone, and that's someone being myself. And when I finally walk away, I can honestly say I did my best. Yes, I am documenting her car and the house when I get home and when I leave. I'm probably enabling right now, but if it goes the way that it probably will, I'm going to be fighting to keep my daughter. Part of this going above and beyond is so that I can be the better parent, because people before, in that last post I did, were right. I wasn't protecting my kid. As for her claiming that I am sabotaging, I must have worded it wrong. When I clean up, she's mad because she was going to do it in a minute, even though it's been days. And for those wondering about work, I am full-time. She works full-time now as a teacher, started back a few days ago. I had hoped she would stay home full-time to raise our daughter, as that's why I took this job. Don't love it, don't enjoy it, but it pays the bills and provides a good quality of life, but it's what she says she needs. And for the people messaging me about using the word boot, I'm from Arkansas, but there's this thing called a plane, and I have worked all over and even enjoyed a TV show or two that wasn't Walker, Texas Ranger. I also call carts at the store trolleys, partly to mess with people and partly because it entertains me, and mainly because it's become a habit. Don't worry, OP, you are an honorary Aussie in my eyes. We also call it the boot, and we also call it the trolley. British as those words may be, you're a bloody Aussie in my eyes. Okay, so my headcanon theory about all of this as it stands, because obviously this story is not over yet, it seems that OP is in deep denial about the situation, but they're also aware of how bad things are. Everything around him is obviously on fire and he's enabling it, which is making her worse. And I have doubts that the counselors told him to go clean things up, because surely common sense would be don't enable a hoarder. Don't clean up after them, because they're just going to see the voids that you're creating and they're not going to switch off the anxiety they have in their head. They'll be like, no, must fill the void with stuff. And for OP, everything is on fire around him. He constantly tries to put fires out. She sets things ablaze with twice the intensity of the fire that he put out. And he's like, you know what? Everything's fine. This is fine. I'm actually not going to leave her until Christmas 2026. Let me just put the date as far back as possible so I have a reason to stay, because I can prove to everyone that I'm strong and resilient and that I love my daughter by continuing to allow my daughter to be exposed to this nutcase, who also went back on her word about being a stay-at-home mum because she needs this. So she's not even going to be there 24/7 to look after our daughter, who I agreed on the lifestyle split of me working full-time, her being full-time parent. No, she's walked that off. I'm just going to completely let that fly because she needs it. But I'm also not going to divorce her straight away and go for full custody and stop her from kidnapping my daughter and abandoning this beautiful state of Arkansas the moment that she gets a whiff of divorce coming from me. Brother man OP, please go get some serious help for yourself, with friends, with your boss, with people that care about you, your family. Go get some individual counseling, protect yourself, protect your daughter, make sure she can't run away with that child, and you make a better life for her. Please come back in the future with good news that you've done everything that has been asked of you in the comments, and please don't mess this up. Please, God, for your child, don't mess this up. Our next post is by user StockAd8565, and it's titled, Am I the arsehole here? I won't let my sister meet my son because of her views on surrogacy. When my husband, 32 male, and I, 28 male, told our families about our intentions to have a child within the next year, my sister, 34 female, is the only one who reacted with anything other than support. For our first baby, my husband and I decided on going the surrogacy route. My sister seemingly took this as a personal attack. She spent the rest of the dinner my parents were hosting essentially ranting about how surrogacy is misogynistic, exploitative, and that we are gross for wanting to rent a woman's body. Okay, sure. You can have your thoughts on the process, but it didn't end there. Every time we gave an update to family and she was in attendance, she would make it a point of reminding us how she felt. Our son was born a little over 2 months ago. We've been keeping him to ourselves since he was born so his immune system strengthens, but we've been slowly introducing him to more people lately. My husband's parents came over 2 weeks ago, and then my parents came last weekend. Yesterday, my sister texted to ask when she could meet the baby, and I told her I didn't particularly want someone around him who was so against his entire existence. I said that if she had it her way, my son wouldn't even be here. She says I'm being unfair, but I just can't imagine her around my child when she was so adamantly disdainful towards us during his conception and throughout the pregnancy. Am I the arsehole here? Edit, my husband and I are both men. It's in the first line of the post. In the comments, my grandma would say, you burn a blister, you sit on it. She should have chosen her words more carefully if she didn't want them to come back and haunt her. Is your grandma Dutch? This guy said some Dutch words here, and it translates to, who burns their butt must sit on the blisters. It's a common Dutch phrase. She was from the Appalachian Mountains in Kentucky. Basically the same thing. Really? Not the arsehole. My husband and I did IVF after years of infertility. A family member was very open about how IVF was a sin and even called my unborn child an abomination and a lab rat. We still have very limited contact with this person and have never, nor will ever, allow them to be alone or in close contact with our child. There are certain events where this person cannot be avoided, but we keep our distance. Like, you don't have to agree to the steps someone takes to build their family, but you can keep those negative thoughts to yourself. There is no need to keep that negativity around something as happy as a baby. I got a ton of backlash for doing genetic testing from certain family, so there is always that one. Always. I'm like, okay, you made your feelings known loud and clear. This is me letting mine be known. Of course, other family members think that we've been too harsh, but I don't care. I don't think that you're an asshole at all in this situation, OP. I understand people are very vocal about their views on things like surrogacy, but surrogacy is a goddamn blessing to so many people that can't have kids themselves, to one partner in a couple that is infertile, or women that are unable to carry a baby to term. There are so many people out there as well that do surrogacies themselves more than once, and they are more than happy to do that for others because they themselves want to be surrogates. They don't view it the same way that this sister views surrogacy. And because she continues to impose her worldview on you, the family, and whoever the hell else is unfortunately a victim of her crimes against the ability to hear and comprehend, There is and will be consequences to those actions that she has taken. If she was so opposed to your son's existence, I don't see why she should be able to have the honor of being in your son's life, of seeing your son, of interacting with him. She's not exactly living by her worldview. She wants to deny his existence, shame you for bringing him into the world through surrogacy, and then also have the benefits of playing family with him. I say don't let her have that. And now, on to the update. So my husband and I made the decision to allow my sister to meet our son a few weeks ago. It was my Nana's birthday, and we thought that it would be best to give things a try. Things went well until the topic of us having more children came up. My cousin asked us if or when we planned on having another baby. My sister piped up with, "I hope you meant it when you said you were going to adopt this time." I know it's not the most egregious of mistakes, but the fact that she still feels so comfortable voicing her opposition to how our son was conceived shows that nothing has changed. We gave her a chance, and now we know we still can't trust her. We called my parents the next day and let them know what happened and how it made us feel. I just can't trust her around my child or possible upcoming children. I truly think that if we adopted in the future, she would, at best, show some kind of favoritism, or at worst, blatantly tell our children that one of them was unethical. We're trying to make this as non-disruptive as possible for my parents. I told them that we would try to find childcare for birthdays and other non-holiday events so that we could still attend, but that our son would obviously be with us on Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc. I'm not asking them to choose between me or my sister, but that we would have to find an alternate day to celebrate if she's invited to holiday parties, or that we would have to stagger times so that we won't be there at the same time. I appreciate the advice on my last post. This has been frustrating to say the least. In the comments, Crazy for Swayze 420 says, "Not the arsehole. Just do Christmas and Thanksgiving with in-laws and do your family after the fact for Christmas. I lived 2 hours from grandparents, so they took turns, kinda like child custody. 1 year this side came, the next the other, and then we go to their hometown like a week after Christmas and do a mini celebration with the side that we didn't see on the actual day. Just see your family at the time when your sister isn't around. No, do not hide your son from birthdays and stuff like that. If ever there was a time to make your parents choose, this is it." OP says, "I clarified this in another comment, but this was always just a near future kind of arrangement. We never planned on doing this once our son is old enough to be aware of these events. But you're right, even doing it now sets a bad precedent, doesn't it? The more I think about it, the angrier I get all over again. If your son stays home on those events, then you should probably stay home too, with your husband. All of you show up, or none of you. I think you're a sensitive dad, very clearly trying to protect your son from the negativity that is your sister. Chin up, you've got this. You gave her a second chance. You were fair, and she blew it. There shouldn't be a third chance or a fourth chance or whatever. I applaud you for telling your parents that when it comes to holidays, we'll celebrate on alternate days so that you don't have to choose between your children. You sound like a real stand-up guy, and I don't know what your sister's hang-up is. You would think she would be overjoyed with you bringing any child into the family, whether it was adopted or a surrogate. Congratulations on your son and any other children that you bring into your marriage/family. I don't know what your sister's hang-up is, but you were definitely not the asshole for trying to keep your son away from all of that drama." And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.